Awesome. So I just want to welcome everybody one more time. And I know that we have a lot of people joining from all over America. We have people from Chicago, Maryland, Atlanta, then Georgia. Good evening, Florida. Welcome. Welcome from Florida. And I have a lot of comments. I just want to say welcome to everybody. We're going to spend the next hour together. It's going to be a great time for everyone who stays till the end. We prepared a special offer for you. And today we're going to dive into who is DevOps engineer, how to become DevOps engineer, how to get into this industry in this perfect timing. And I want to introduce Alexei, who is one of our brilliant instructors. He will be going through some tools which DevOps engineers are using. And I'm just very happy that you are investing your time into learning a new skill set. And I'm very proud that instead of watching your favorite show or doing something else, you're spending your evening with us. And you're not missing the opportunity to become DevOps engineer and learn what's on the market and how to not miss it. Alexei, can you please have a next slide? And before we get started, I want to just show you a few statistics. And projections are soaring in this industry from 10 billion to a staggering 60 billion by 2032. And so now is the time to seize these opportunities. And I want to mention that if you do the market research and check the statistics, 43% of the companies are actively seeking DevOps engineers right now. Can you imagine? It's perfect timing to enter the market, to have the skill set. And I love the quote where it says, success is when preparation meets opportunity. This is a great opportunity, but you got to be prepared. And this is why tonight we're going to spend this hour checking the opportunity and sharing with you how to be prepared, how to become DevOps engineer, and do not miss it. So welcome everybody. I know that some people are just joining us. And if you just joined, please save your questions till the end. We're going to be going through them. And I want to say a few words about Alexei, because Alexei is one of our graduates in our school. And he started from having a desire to get into IT. He switched his career, and now he's not just working in IT industry as a DevOps engineer, but he's also able to help our students to achieve success. And Alexei, if you don't mind, would you share how did you get started? And I think your story is just so inspiring, and I think that would encourage those who are just thinking about getting into IT, those who already maybe have experience, but they're ready to go to the next level. And so just share maybe a few minutes. How did you get started and how you became successful in it?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alexei. Yeah, I have a rather interesting story because I came to the IT world from the engineering background. My initial education is the refrigeration engineering, and a while ago, sometime 6 years, I think, I've been seeking the way to enter the IT world, and the PSV was one of the schools which provided a lot of support, and they had a great community at the time. And when I was searching for the opportunities. So I started studying in the PSV school as the front-end software developer, taking JavaScript language as the main language of language of choice. And from there, through the course, I figure out, so hey, this is not exactly something what I'm enjoying doing, because development, I find it rather boring. It's not that challenging, but it's boring. So in my case, because the guys at school, they needed support, they needed technical support, and they needed support with their cloud resources, I learned the stack alongside with the software engineering, and I helped the school set up their infra. I helped the school to streamline their processes and basically started doing DevOps for the school. At that time at PSV, there were no DevOps course, and there were nobody who could teach me, and DevOps profession itself was kind of new on the market. So in my case, basically self-taught myself, learn through doing things and through the practice. And from there, I entered the market. Um, and it was successful enter. After that, I've been hired by the local Canadian company, specifically in the Vancouver. Um, I spent around couple of weeks, I think a month for job hunting, but end result was having three job offers on the table and being able to choose the specific place where I do want to live. Because I've been targeting the Vancouver area specifically. Prior that, I used to live in Toronto area, and company allowed me to start full remote. So one of the requirements was, yes, I'm gonna move to the Vancouver, and that was my desire at the time. And also, they let me start for first 3 or 4 months as the full remote, and from there, I just travel across the Canada. That was a great trip too. So, DevOps engineering doesn't require be constantly present on site. And once I came to the Vancouver, basically I being in the central office maybe a handful of times. Since then, I being headhunted by another company, and I'm currently working for this company. I started with them as the contractor and transitioned into the senior DevOps full-time role. And from there, I slightly diverged from the main DevOps role duties. I'm currently exploring the FinOps career opportunities. So basically, along the way, I learned a lot about the stack of the technologies, as well as I had the opportunity to work with a lot of different technical stacks. So the company in Vancouver, they being mostly based on the conventional servers, and they even had their own on-premises setup. So it was more about being the proper system administrator, working with a lot of things hands-on, and encouraging, like helping my teammates to get the handle of it, because I was not the one in the DevOps team. Once I transitioned to the more mature role in the next company, which had hunted me, there are guys being already in the cloud. And honestly, the company is still hiring because it's growing, even despite the market is actually developers roles and QA are seeing some hardships, but I should say that DevOps roles are on the rise still. So from there, I have hands-on experience with a lot of AWS services. Basically, there's over 200 services just for the sake of it. Of course, nobody knows all of them, but you pick your specialty and go from there. And in my case, I get to touch all of them because I started to work as the optimization team engineer, which means doing research and development for the company, basically saving money for the company, optimizing the resource usage. And my engineering background helped me a lot along the journey. And
So
currently
you was
being,
engineer before, right? So
yes.
it's like, so those people who don't have a background in IT, they have a chance to go through all those stages, where you're learning, and then they can start without even having a background in IT, correct?
So the current goal is, and that's why we are doing the DevOps course with the PSV, to help people who doesn't have a background, who may be standing on the crossroads, who choosing the way where to go, to understand what the DevOps is, and actually transition into the role easier than the way how I did it. And I'm bringing to the course my own personal experience alongside with a lot of practical skills and information, because I'm
Mhm.
not simply teaching the theory on the course, and that's not what we are orienting on. Our orientation is more on let you use things, let you break things, because it's a lot of fun too when stuff fails, and then find out how to fix it. And of course, there is a theory, but again, our main goal is to make you successful on the market, and we are trying to organize everything the way that it makes your journey easier, so you can start understanding things better. And maybe there's certain stuff which you already know, but it's required deeper look into it, and so on. So about me, yes, I had an engineering background. It is not required for the course. We already had a number of the successful batches before today's presentation, and a lot of people coming into our bootcamps without the background, and by the end of the background, their technical knowledge is definitely elevated. And yes, here I am. So feel free to ask
Yeah.
more questions, and
Yeah.
I think we should continue, right?
Yeah, we can continue with my slides, but what I wanted to mention is that being a DevOps engineer gave you that flexibility of remote job. And you being a DevOps engineer, you can tell that it pays very well. So you could just transition, and it allowed you to have a totally different lifestyle where you don't just have flexibility, but it pays very well. And let's go through my slides quickly because I wanted to show them the amount of money you could be making being a DevOps. But before that, I just want to mention that the company was founded in 2016 in California. And originally, our goal was to help all those people who don't even speak English. And we help over 3,500 students to graduate and achieve their dream career in IT. And so a lot of people, they already work in American companies, and they had to overcome the challenge of not speaking English. And we have a lot of stories. And I mean, I would share just few of this. You can read it on the screen. People like Demir, Kate, Michael, they didn't even have IT background. Like Michael, he used to be a truck driver, and then he transitioned, he learned, and now he has his dream job where he can spend time with his family. And each person has their own why they want to achieve a certain results in life. And while we're going through the webinar, I want you to think about your why. What would make you put effort and change your life to achieve different results? Because being a mindset coach, I talk to a lot of people, and it's all about your investment in yourself and your skill set. And I want you to think about your why, because you got to know your why. That would help you to achieve different results 6 months down the road. And the reason we're doing this webinar tonight is that our goal is to help more people to have a different lifestyle and have their dream career, flexibility. And that's what DevOps career is about. And if you could share the next slide, our students, they're hired by different companies. And my favorite part about DevOps engineer is that it not just pays very well, but it also gives you the remote job. And you could pretty much work from anywhere in the world as long as you got internet connection. And on the next slide, Alexei, if you could share it too, I wanted to just briefly go through the fact that you don't even have to be detail orientated individual in order for you to become DevOps engineer. You don't have to have a background. Anybody can learn anything if they put effort and if they have a right mentor. And in my life, I had a lot of mentors, and I know that when you have a right person, right mentor, you achieve results much faster than if you're just watching things on YouTube, trying to figure out things by yourself. But if you have a right mentor, and we have Alexei, who already went through this path. And that's why I wanted him to share the story. So he knows how to get you from A to B and help you to achieve the totally different results. And on next slide, I also wanted to show you the minimum salary which our DevOps engineers are achieving. So it starts from $100,000 a year. And think about if you would add extra stream of income of $10,000 a month, how your life would change. I want you to post it in the comments. So what would you do with that $10,000 extra a month? Would your life change? If it's yes, put plus in the chat right now so I could see. Because you got to have multiple streams of income where you can invest in your dreams. So you would wake up and thank you. Thank you for those classes. I see a few of them already. So it's very important for you to wake up and be happy about what you're doing every day. And that's what DevOps engineers career could allow you to do. And so I'm gonna let Alexei to describe few tools which we're going to be using, and how is the course created, and he'll just go through some details. And I want you to pay attention. And if you have any questions, please write them down. We want to spend this quality time with you tonight. And our goal is to help you to be in a different position 6 months or a year down the road. And Alexei, please share with us the key elements of being a DevOps engineer. Before you go through this, PASP and Blackscreen is the same. Yes, it is the same company. So Blackscreen.ai, it's a subsidiary company from PSV. And so originally PASP was launched for those who don't speak English. And we saw that the demand is so high. And if our students who don't speak English, they can get a job on the market, and we can allow and help English speakers as well. So that's why we came out with a special name, Black Screen AI. And so it is the same company. We have over 25,000 students from different parts of the world. But this special group, which we are starting on May 8th, and we're going to make this group small. It's going to be no more than 20 students. So we're going to pick up those students who will join this group, and we're going to help you to become DevOps engineer and be successful in it and have a dream job. And I'm going to let Alexei go through the details, and he'll mention a few tools which you will be using, and how to get started and get to where you are making $100,000 a year working remotely. And then there's a room to grow. You can always get to the next level. And after you've been working for a year, you can go to over 250,000. Of course, it would take your effort, but with the right mentor and right system, which we already made work for other students, you can achieve success. And Alexei, I'll let you go through the details. Take it from here. Let us dive into this exciting opportunity. And as I mentioned in the beginning, 43% of companies are actively seeking DevOps engineers right now, and they might be seeking you. So listen carefully, take some notes, write down your questions, and let's dive in and learn how to become DevOps engineer and get your dream career. Go ahead, Alexei. I'll let you continue from here.
Yeah, I gotta take it from here. So, what do you think DevOps engineer means? It is the conjunction of two words, development and operations. So basically, in the early stages of the profession, there was a need in the special engineers who has the cross-functional knowledge. Basically, a little bit of knowledge on the development side to be able to understand developers, software developers, specifically, and a little bit of knowledge on the operation side. So being a little bit of the system administrator, more like the person who goes and sets up the servers, right? Because prior to that, the story looked like this. Developer would develop the application. By the way, any interactive website is an application. So if you open the website, even the PSV, it is the Node.js React application. And developer would develop it. He will throw the code into the operational person and tell that person, hey, you gotta run it now. The operations will try to start it. It would fail because it lacks of a lot of additional settings, which are neatly set up by the developer on his own computer, but they are not set up on the remote servers, right? And the operation guy would come back, or operation person would come back to the developer and tell him, hey, this thing doesn't work, so go and fix it. And that will start the war. And that's why at a certain point, the companies see a great need in the person who would understand both worlds, who can take the best of the both worlds and increase the speed of the development. Because basically, by having a DevOps engineer in the team, they transition the role of the operational person, like 70% of it, into the DevOps role, and they transition around 20% of the development role into this role as well, and that speed up development. So by speeding up development process and speeding up the delivery speed. So from the code, from the idea, from the feature into the production to us users, right? That new button on the screen, that new YouTube interface, which everybody hates. Now you know the news, so go take a look. YouTube just recently pulled away their new redesigned version of the YouTube because everybody hates it. So they were able to do it so quickly because they had a great DevOps team, which managed the process of development and process of deployment of the new stuff quickly and was able to quickly roll it back. So that's about DevOps. So in what parts of the development process and IT industry in general, like where DevOps participates within the company business processes, right? DevOps participates in the planning stage because without DevOps engineer saying, hey, we can support this load, or we can support this feature, or we can't support this feature, the things shouldn't happen. I'm saying shouldn't happen, but a lot of times we would see that certain companies would bypass it, and then we will have to deal with it. But that's another story. The second stage, coding, because developers write the code, and they ship this code into the version control system, basically Git, GitHub, whatever. And DevOps engineer is responsible for that code being properly built, properly tested, and properly deployed. So DevOps engineer is responsible for the CI pipelines. Get used to the new terms, by the way. CI means continuous integration. From there, next stage, build, because DevOps engineer is setting up the automation around the code development processes, such as automated builds, automated testing, which ensures the code quality. That means if developers try to ship something's broken, DevOps engineer helps developers to understand when it's broken, where it's broken, and how to fix it. Not necessarily we do the development or coding parts ourselves, but we can pinpoint the place where it's broken. And that's the requirement for the DevOps engineer, one of the requirements. And that's something what I will teach you on the course, that, hey, you not necessarily need to know any programming language, but you need to understand what you see on the screen. And it's not that complicated, by the way, but it requires certain dedication to be able to read the logs and errors. Next stage, testing, right? That's why QA engineers likes DevOps guys so much, because they help them set up proper testing procedures. They help them to understand when the test doesn't work, and they help them to fix if the tests are broken. Um, Another stage after testing is a deployment, right? So how are we gonna ship this code? Because we cannot simply pull the code out of the production, let our users suffer. For example, like in this presentation, if the Google would be broken because they changing something on the background, this presentation would be blank, right? Or my Zoom client, you notice when Zoom just launched itself 3 years, 4 years ago, they had a big issues because a lot of things were manual, but they streamlined it. Their DevOps team did a great job by streamlining changes, so users like us didn't notice anything. They deployed the new updated version of the app, and suddenly today I realized, hey, there is a new capabilities in that app. I didn't even notice. It was so smooth that the addition went unnoticed. That's the perfect example of deployment. And of course, one more part is operation, right? Because it's just not enough to simply ship changes into the production, just to show it to the end user. We need to make sure if there are any errors, if we see that there is a potential user impact, if we see that our application, our website starts slowing down, we need to catch this early. And that's the part of the operation. So we monitor and manage things before they start being broken. And of course, yes, operate and monitor. The last but not least part is monitoring. By the way, it's possible on each of these steps where DevOps participates, it's possible to make a separate career. Because in the big companies, DevOps teams, they become specialized. There is a team which specializing on the monitoring only. There is a team which doing only operational stuff. There is a team which does only deployment. They call release engineers. There is a team which works with the infrastructure and testing. and so on. So basically, our idea is to give you the broad skills and align you with the current market expectation. And then by joining the force, you will be able to pick and choose what you like more. That means basically that you are joining as the generalist, so the person who knows a little bit of everything, and then you start picking up what you like more. Same happened with me because my skill set looked more like a T shape, but currently it's more like leveling off, and I start realizing that hey, there are new areas of development which I like better. And that's also differs DevOps from the developers too, because developers usually get assigned to this certain language, certain tool set, and they stick with it forever. Um, Here's the slide with the main tools which are very popular in the DevOps world, and they become basically the standard of the industry. Very first one is this devil guy. I like that logo because they have a more peaceful, better one, but unfortunately, when it doesn't work, it looks like this. It's called Jenkins. So Jenkins is one of the many tools. There are at least three, or I think at least five tools which I can name which do the same job as Jenkins, because basically Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Circle CI, GitLabs, I believe partially we could name the Argo rollouts, but yeah, that's discussable. So this tool, it's a tool. It does automation of the processes. So same steps which we would perform manually, like exactly the same code lines which we put in the terminal, we can automate in the Jenkins and daisy chain them to have a successful end result, whatever we want. And in the DevOps world, if you do something more than 3 times, that's the same as the system administrator world, I believe, you better write that script which automated, because then you spend 6 hours to write the script, and it will keep saving you every half an hour every time you run it. And it's worth of investment. Next tool. This is a very popular tool for the infrastructure management. That's called Terraform. Terraform is a tool which connects directly to the cloud provider and provisions infrastructure for us. So if we need a server, like an empty box, server with any operational system, think about it as an empty box, right? We ask cloud provider for an empty box. That's Terraform. We describe, and Terraform uses something which is called infrastructure as the code. So we describe it in this certain template. And from that template, cloud provider is capable of deriving the infrastructure which we need. The way how it works under the hood will be explained, of course, in our lectures more, but that's the industry standard at the moment. There are, again, multiple tools which do the same job. Technically, with the AWS, you can work even without using Terraform, but more and more companies switching to the Terraform because it is a very good way of managing your assets and managing your infrastructure. Next tool is Ansible. Ansible is a tool which fills up our box. So if the Terraform provides a box for us, Ansible sets up this box. We write a certain templates which install certain tools or certain drivers or certain applications on our box. And after that, the box becomes functional, or it becomes our server, which serves our application. That's why it's called server, of course. And we are orienting our bootcamp on the AWS, because AWS is currently one of the biggest cloud providers, which is occupying around 70% of the market. And a lot of companies seeking the candidates with a knowledge of the AWS specifically. As I mentioned earlier, there are around 220 services, as far as I remember. That's the subject to change because they keep developing. Of course, nobody knows all of 220, but there is a core stack of around 40 services, which we will be working with. And I will show you how to operate them safely, how to get production aligned experience. And that's one of the benefits of our course, because we provide you hands-on experience. You will get to click on this server, you will get to break it, you will get to reinstall it, reset up, change it. a lot of courses, they don't provide these opportunities. They just simply teach you the theory, and from there you are on your own. And that's a catch-22, because to get hired, you need to have a production experience. And you can get production experience without being hired, right? So the rest of the slide basically is oriented on this certain presentation, which I'm not going to be running today because we are having lack of time. We are limited with the time. We're trying to fit it under one and a half hour. But there is a link. If you guys are curious, you can open it up. I will post it in the chat. This link shows the open source repository, which is basically capable, this code is capable of launching AWS server. And on this server, there are 2 applications should be installed and running. If we launch this second lesson, I'm not sure we're gonna be doing it, but it's a part of the teaser. I can show you how to run it and how to properly set it up. Going back to the presentation. So what's included in our course, right? Julia, shall I expand or you gonna take it
You know,
there?
I think you can. But I'm just loving our group tonight. There's so many great questions, and if you could take some time and go over a few of them, because I think you would answer it better.
Mhm.
Like, let me just go on the first one. I think Amir asked it. No, that was Hamja. He's asking, are we going over all the tools in this course? Jenkins, K8, Terraform, AWC, Docker. It's if you could answer that one, because I think that's a great question. I know you mentioned that we're going to be going through Terraform, but he wants to know if it's going to be all tools,
Yes.
which he
The quick
Mhm.
answer is yes. And there is more than
Yes, yes to all.
yes to all and more than that. We do have a course curriculum. I believe if you ask Julia, she will be able to send it to you.
I can
And
email it to anybody who's interested.
yes. And the way how the course is structured is from the simple concepts to the more complicated. And it doesn't matter which operational system you use, because we are orienting to work mostly with the cloud resources. We utilize the free resources which are provided by the AWS once you create your AWS account. And we are working with the free tier resources, and we are setting up things based on these resources. So
Mhm.
the course is structured the way that we start from the simple things like a GitHub, terminal, working with the basics of working with a terminal. From there, we transition into the Terraform. Sorry, then we combine Terraform with the Ansible. From there, we venture into the Jenkins, where we can utilize Jenkins to work towards our cloud and setting up Jenkins with the Terraform and Ansible. And then we using Jenkins to set up our own infra inside our own cloud. And from there, we pick up on Docker. And alongside, we end up working with the Kubernetes. So there are more tools than that. And Kubernetes is really a huge topic by itself. That's why I'm dedicating around 25% of the course to the lectures on the kites, and specifically on how to use it, how to work with it, which tool set is utilized, and so on, right? Uh, and we do have the project which you can engage in. And basically, this project involves you utilizing all of the tools which you learn on the course and working on your own Kubernetes cluster. So at the end of the course, you will have your own fully production capable Kubernetes cluster. And that is not overstatement. Also, as the bonus points, right? I showed something on the beginning of the webinar today. First of all, I can show you how to launch your own AI on your machine or in the cloud. And the other thing is that I'm running my own Kubernetes cluster at home on premises, so on a small server machine, and I can show you how to set it up on your own computer. It's a very interesting process, and it helps to understand the DevOps toolset in depth. Also, DevOps is not only about tools, but a lot of times it's about processes. It's a person who actually understands the processes well within the company. And I will provide you the real life experience and show you how it can be combined and how it can be applied. Because knowledge without application is worthless. You can know the biggest encyclopedia in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, then you just the knowledge carrier. And I provide this hands-on experience.
And that's what I love, I think, about our school the most. It's there are a lot of boot camps out of there, and they put 100 people or like 70 people in one lesson, and then it turns into the lecture like you have in a university. And so there is no interaction between instructor and the student. And you pay a lot of money for that, but then it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of your investment because you get lost. And what I love about Alexei that he starts you from the level where you understand, and he wouldn't take you to the next level unless he's confident in your ability to go to the next level. And I think that's amazing that we could have a small group, and it's more like a private attention and personal touch when you don't understand it. Are you going to go over the fees for the course? Yes, for everyone who joined the webinar, I'm going to go over the special promotional offer we prepared for those who are at the webinar. We're going to dive into it in a few minutes. But before that, I also wanted to answer a few more questions. And one of them was, I don't want to miss anybody. So Otto asked, how related is DevOps to cybersecurity or AI itself? Maybe Alexei, you can briefly answer that one as well.
One more time.
How related is DevOps to cybersecurity or AI itself?
Okay, that's a very good question because
That's
uh,
Otto really nailed it on that question, I think. I love it.
Uh, because technically you can venture off into the DevSec after you work as a DevOps engineer for a little bit. DevOps engineer usually responsible for setting up the basics of the security in the organization. And depending on the size of the team, uh, most of the times, if the team is small, it falls off on the DevOps engineer. Again, as a DevOps engineer, usually you are not gonna be left in the void by the team or by the company when they hire you, right? The expectation is that you join the team, you understand how it works, and then after at least 1 to 2 months ramping up period, you will get access to the bigger things. But DevOps engineer need to know and understand basics of the security because, for example, if there is a simple update to the rules of the firewall, which needs to be done, that's gonna fall on the shoulders of the DevOps. If in the company is a specific DevSec person, then this person is responsible for it. But if the team is small, like 3 people or less, well, usually it's three people, so that's a part of the DevOps responsibilities, and I will be showing you how to do it properly on the course.
Awesome. One more question is this hands-on experience, what will be the course mirroring? What I mean by that is, has this scenarios already been implemented in different organizations? So I think the question is about the course project, internship, and how they're implementing what you're teaching them, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely, because we work with a real world scenarios world. Again, the thing is that we taking a little bit simplified approach. What that means like launching the simple application. But uh, working with the microservices, you will be faced uh, with the same patterns. So I will show you the pattern. I will show how it is implemented. I will show how to work with it. And again, certain things, what to do and what not to do, which will help you to be more confident on the interview and properly respond on the questions. But at the same time, we're not going to be launching new Facebook here. It's not the expectation. Although we do have a big project which we are working on, and by the way, we are supporting partially the certain proof of concept or MVPs if you will for the PSV. And the PSV is a very dynamic organization because with so many students, they do have a big developers pool and they badly need a DevOps engineers there. So we're trying to join forces and get the best for both of us, right? And current task, for example, is PSV developed their own pet project, which is the CRM application. It's a properly set up big CRM application, which is a front end, back end, and database. And we are setting up for them staging environment and testing environment, because PSV also focus a lot on the QA engineers. And QA engineers, they need a testing environment. So we're providing it. Uh, it is related to real life. And once you join the real company, you will see that, hey, all of the patterns are there. So you will know what to do.
Awesome. And I also see that someone says that I feel like I struggle the most with network inside. And, when you begin something, learning something new, there always will be challenges, but that's why it's so important to have a mentor who already been there. He already been in your shoes. He went through all that struggling part, and he encourages you and helps you to figure it out. And we created the system which helps our students to become successful, because we know how it feels to go through all those steps before you get the job. And we even teach you how to pass the interview, how to answer the questions correctly, how to make your resume looks the way it needs to be. And we even help you with references. So there are a lot of things we're covering to help you to become successful. And so I know struggle is real, but money just don't fall out of the sky. You gotta go through that struggle. You gotta develop that skill set, and you got a mentor who will guide you through and help you to overcome those fears and struggles. So we're there with you. We feel your pain. After course completion, will we get help until we land a job? We are helping you, and you're going to be a part of the group with the students and graduates as well. And so we don't just leave you hanging. So even after you completed the course, we still have relationships with you. And if you feel like you need to retake the course and you need to get a better knowledge of something else, what you feel like you're missing, we even let you do that. And that's very important. I don't know any other school out there who would let you retake the course. And we allow our students because we want you to be successful. When you're successful, that increases our ratings, and we're successful with you. Is this study journey covers how to position the knowledge for entrepreneurial path, or the instruction is designed for employment path only? Do you want to answer that one, Alexei?
A very interesting question, though.
It is a good one. I mean, I love the activity of our group tonight.
Yeah.
It's good that you have a lot of questions. That means you're really considering this path of changing where you are right now. And successful people, they take action when they seize opportunity. And
Mhm.
so I love it that you guys are prepared for that. Mhm.
So, so far we've been preparing for the employment, but depending on your situation, again, the course is not 100% set into the lecture-like rigid plan, because I have PhD, which I left somewhere in my background, and I also studied teaching and a little bit of philosophy. And the idea of this course is that we have the live communication, and we tailor the course to the needs of the students. So if you want to dive deeper into this certain technologies, that's fine. We can do this. If you want to bring something to the table, like your own experience or piece of knowledge, again, it's perfectly fine. We not doing it by the book as the other courses do, because I being, for example, finding a lot of courses simply boring just because they have their own set structure, and they don't have a real life knowledge. So their instructors usually are not current, and the agenda is updated like once a year, right? But what if the new AI launched just yesterday? So we being tailored for the employment mostly, but depends on what you mean entrepreneurial stuff. Uh, For example, again, I'm running my own laboratory at home with the server and the Kubernetes server. So if you would like dive deeper into that, it's always possible to ask more questions and work with it. So stay tuned. That's all what I can
Yeah.
say.
All right. So
So far, most of the students, they went through the employment path first. But again, we need to like better understand what you want. Um, yes, and another question was, is it mix of recorded and live lessons?
Mhm.
Well, the thing is that we teach in course live, but the lessons are recorded. So if you miss something or you want to rewatch something or you want to go 2, 3 lessons back, it's possible. You will have full access to the video recordings. And but the course in general is expectation is that we have a live session 3 times a week with me. Uh, the schedule was well, I need to confirm schedule. Julia knows better than me at this point.
Yes, so let
Um,
me tell them. So because I saw that someone else asked this question. So it's going to be Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wednesday it's going to be 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in Eastern, it's going to be 9:30 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday it's going to be in the mornings. So it is going to be 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're in Eastern plus 3 hours, so it's going to be around lunchtime. And but if you can't miss the live session, if you can join, so you can always watch the recording. We make it available for our students. So someone said, "Awesome, Alexei, thank you."
thanks a lot.
And
I think a few more questions, Julia, and we should go on. There is a request to understand the course pricing model and how many classes and so on. I can answer partially on it that the classes are designed to take 1.5 hour, but they are not limited to 1.5 hour. So usually in the certain topics, we can spill over a little bit and go to like 2.5 hours depending on the engagement and the information necessary to provide, but at least 1.5 hour. And trust me, you're not going to be bored. And the second part about the pricing, we will cover it just a little bit later. There is a few more slides, so please have a patience and you will see it. The other question was about certification. So certification is a little bit overrated for the DevOps profession. It will help you to get the attention of the recruiters, but it will not help you to pass the interview. Again, if it's a certification which was obtained, like you got the piece of paper and you forgot already what you learned there. But what you need to understand that any certification you take, first of all, you're learning for yourself. So the things which you're learning to pass the certification are important for you and for your understanding, and that will help you to be successful later. But if you're doing it just for the sake of getting this badge, let's say, it's not so necessarily. And in my experience, the successful candidate is not necessarily is a holder of the 10 AWS certifications or CCNA certification or CKAS certification. Although I would admit that the Kubernetes certificate is significant addition, and that means the person knows at least basics of working with the Kubernetes. But then we go from there during the interviewing phase. So it totally depends. Honestly, it's not so important. Okay, take next slide, right?
awesome. Mhm.
Yeah, I think we covered that part, but I can expand a little bit on it too. I think we just gonna go through the slides a little bit faster. What you will learn to use the tools. Tools are on the right. Kubernetes is not a tool, it's an orchestration tool. It's more like orchestration application, but uh, part of the discussion. What's included, right? What's the stack? Terraform, Kubernetes, we will look into the databases, not necessarily MySQL only, but a few others like MongoDB, Redis, caching solutions, PostgreSQL, all of that things. We work with the AWS cloud. We work with the Docker, but mostly for the local development. We are not going to be running anything production ready on Docker. We work with the Jenkins as automation tool, Ansible as setting up, Grafana and Prometheus. Those are two staples of the monitoring world because they are open source and accessible to everybody. And all of the tools which you see there, they are open sourced to a certain extent, except AWS. What that means you can get them and install them for free on your computer and work with them and gain experience even without need to pay or assign for any accounts or anything. What else, right? So I already went over Docker containerization and yes, SQL and MySQL databases. Databases. Please be aware that we are looking at the databases not from the DBA perspective, but from perspective of the DevOps engineer. And that's slightly different because DBA or database analyst or database developer, they look at the database as the source of storage and the specific engine to run certain queries against. So like SQL language to understand performance, tables, all of the data formatting, and so on. For the DevOps engineer, it's not so interesting topic. We are mostly interested in the actual resource usage. So how to launch it, how bad or how good our performance is, what is our source of delays, what is our drawbacks on the certain architecture standards. And by the way, I'm providing a lot of architectural knowledge, so you will be able to understand how everything stacks up together at the end of the course. And MySQL is a necessary part of the successfully running application in certain cases. So then that's that. And here we go to the actual pricing model.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, for everyone who stays till the end, we did prepare a special offer. Usually, this course price range starts from $3,500 to $10,000, and a lot of times, you will be challenged with someone from different countries teaching you, like India, and it will be challenging, and they charge you a lot of money. And as Alexei mentioned, it could be material which is not updated. And so this price is available only for those who visited the webinar today. And we're going to log this price for the next 24 hours. As I mentioned, we had 150 students who registered. We only going to make a group of 20 people because for us, it's important that each of you would have that individual attention. All your questions are answered and you're not getting stuck when you feel like you missed something. And I understand the power of investment. It's very important. Successful people, they invest in themselves and they have different results. And we can consider the payment plan. We can split the payment in 2 or 3 if you can't make a payment right now. But there are a lot of credit cards right now which allow you to have an interest-free rate. So I would recommend you to give a call to your bank and maybe you'll get a better offer, so you can just get an interest-free rate, put it on a credit card. And as we mentioned earlier, Alexei returned his investment once he got the job the first month. And a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
us
that
students
actually.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes they return it the first 2 weeks. And just to give you an idea, if you would go and get a degree, let's say you want to become a doctor, you would spend over $100,000 for the next 5 or more years, and your return on investment is not going to be as fast. You would start from less than $100,000 a year. And the beauty about this industry and this opportunity is that the course is going to be for 4 months, and you finish in the project. We help you with your resume. We prepare you for the interview. You'll have references, and usually our students, they're finding the job within 2 months right now with such a high demand on the market. So you pretty much return your investment in less than a year. And just to give you an example, a few years ago, I started the company. I had to put $150,000 into business, and it took me 3 years to return my investment. And I was in profit only in the 4th year. So here, your investment is only 2,999, and you can have a skill set which puts you in a position to have remote job and to be making over $10,000 a month. That's no brainer. And the difference between successful people is that they seize opportunity, they take action, and they don't wait. Because if you would get into this industry, let's say 6 months later, the market is going to be already full. Right now, the demand, as I mentioned in the beginning, 43% of companies are actively seeking DevOps engineers. And the best part about our school is that we give you practical part, not just theoretical. And I know I got a lot of questions. Let me just go through a few of them. And so for everyone who joins right now, you can just scan the QR code and join right now. If you're an action taker, I encourage you, do not be cheap on yourself, invest in yourself, and you wouldn't regret it. And, I buy courses, invest in myself all the time, and I see the power of investment. And this investment will pay back pretty quickly. ROI is over 300%, and it will happen quickly, and we know how to get there. So, which app for streaming you will use for the course? Podlog is asking. Are we using Zoom, Alexei, or we're going to use the different platform?
Now we're using Zoom.
Zoom.
And the free account is enough. You're
Okay.
gonna have a free account, and the Black Screen is gonna have a special channel and stable link for the lessons, and those are unlimited. Basically, we pay for our own company account, so
Mhm.
you just need a free account. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so if you are not ready to make a payment right now, Alexei, can you please share the next slide? You can leave your request and we'll go over your questions. If you need extra consultation, I am available. And so just scan this QR code, leave the request, and we'll see how we can help you to get started. But I wouldn't be waiting too long, because we want to make this group no more than 20 people. And we know that all these 20 people are going to be successful because we know the system we have in place works. And the market is there. And as Alexei mentioned, software engineers are struggling right now because the market kind of went down, but the DevOps engineer industry is blooming, and time is now. Time to take action and change your future, because I believe everybody deserves the lifestyle they want, but you can't just get there without putting a certain action in it. And success is when preparation meets opportunity. This is your opportunity. We know how to get you prepared, so your chances only to become successful, but you got to invest in yourself. Let's return to the previous slide one more time, Alexei. Whoever is ready to join us right now, don't miss it. Scan the QR code, and you can make a
That's
payment right now.
Give me a
And
second. I
yeah,
think it moves only forward. Here we go. Okay, that's the previous slide.
got it. I can also put the link in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That helps to someone. But I'll give you another example. Like if I would tell you right now, I want to see who will answer me in the chat. If I'll tell you right now, I got a Bugatti which costs over $300,000, and I'll give it to you for 10K. Would you find 10K? I want to see who would put effort, make some phone calls,
What
and find
catch?
10K.
I want that Bugatti too.
Okay, so Alexei would say yes. Who else is going to say yes? Put pluses in the chat. So, and this is your Bugatti. This is your Ferrari to your dream future. And you got to take action and you got to make it happen. Because if you don't put action and you wouldn't make it happen 6 months down the road, you will be regretting that you didn't took the action, and it's going to be like a Groundhog Day. And I know the other thing, as a mindset coach, I talk to people all the time. Sometimes past experiences or past failures, they stop people from moving forward. And I don't want you to be one of them. So just leave your past behind and seize the opportunity. Seize the opportunity, invest in yourself, and have different results 6 months down the road. Because through the market research, we know that you are going to be successful if you put effort into learning and getting the skill set, because this is a great opportunity, and you're going to get practical stuff out of it. I'm trying to find the link to post it in the chat for those who didn't scan the QR code. If you want to save it, if you need, and forgot. Yes. So, but this is just a great example. I like few years ago when I needed an investment and I really wanted something, so I had to do a garage sale. I made few phone calls. If you really want something, you would put effort in it, and you will make it happen. Come on, we all know the power of making a correct decision. And all my successful people, I'll give you another example. One of my friends, Billy, who used to be MMA fighter, and he now he's like making millions a month. And I asked him, Billy, what's your secret? How did you get from making a little bit of money to millions a month? And he told me, I invested into mentorship. I hired mentors in marketing. I found a mentor from Harvard who taught me the software. And so now he owns 14 software companies. But his secret was he invested in himself, in his skill set. And he's where he is because he didn't waste his time. Yes, it took him time to learn. But if you don't do it, you would regret it. And you pay the price of you know I don't really like this word, but procrastination. You delay your success but not taking action. And so let me post the link one more time in the chat if you want to save it. And you can join right now. As I said, we do have a limited spots, so don't miss the opportunity. If you need a little bit more time, and you need to make a call to your credit card bank, or if you need to increase your credit card limit, please go ahead and do that. And just make action, make it happen. We are starting on May 8th. We got less than a week left. We're very excited about it. This is going to be the best group, probably my favorite, because I'm so excited that we make it available for English speakers. And you don't have a challenge of not speaking English like our other students. And they got the job in American companies, very successful, and they are grateful that we help them to go through this path. So it's going to be 4 months journey to your success, 3 times a week, about 2 hours per class. And all the classes are live, recordings are available, retake of the class is available. We're helping you with resume, with interview, with internship, with references. And we're very excited about you not missing this opportunity. And retake is included in this cost as well. Yes, if you feel like you need to retake the course. And we actually had few students who continued. They did the retake, but in the same time they were applying for jobs, and then they got job. But my favorite part about this is that we teach you practical part. It's not just theory, and you can't work as a DevOps engineer if you don't know how to apply what you learned. And Alexei is the best with it. How many people usually attend classes? As I mentioned, this group is going to be no more than 20 people. This is what we decided. Most of the classes and the boot camps out there, trust me, I got PhD in business. I did the research. They're doing over 50, 100 people. And then it's a waste of your time and waste of your investment because you don't have that individual approach while you're studying, where Alexei could answer your questions. And even if you need extra personal time, he even does the private coaching session. It is a extra investment. I think it's about $75 per an hour, correct, Alexei?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct? Yeah. So if there is something super interesting and you're like, Alexei, I just want one-on-one, you dive with me and explain it to me. He does that as well. And does this course contribute for an already experienced DevOps engineer? I am looking to propel my career into SRE space. Alexei, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the course starts with the basics. So I'm not exactly sure how much of basics you need. but we can schedule a call separately and discuss it because I've been working in the SRE field for a while and I know ins and outs. The thing is that the course is oriented towards successful job hunting, and it gives the skill sets on the broad range of technologies. SRE is more like narrowed down approach.
Mhm. Someone is
Yeah, the
asking.
next follow-up question is, yes, it's not exactly, well, SRE is a DevOps, but do you know what the SRE stands for? Site reliability engineer, right? So it's the person who's 24/7 on call, not for long. If the team is small enough, then it's like once in a couple of weeks. And it's the person who's responsible for fixing things when the things go wrong. But that means logging into the server, for example, and modifying configuration on the go. It's not necessarily means having a deep understanding, for example, of the bill structure or how much the AWS resources cost. Or it means closely working with the developers and being part of the release team. And that's what I'm saying. It's more narrowed down approach. Uh, it is a part of the DevOps, but yeah, we can talk about it. I would be happy to take it offline with both of you guys if you're interested. And yeah, and then we will get from there.
That sounds great. And also, I see the question Maria is asking. So on your page, pass says English course starts on May 29th. Is this a different class? I think maybe there is a typo. English course starts on May May 8th. May 8th, that's Wednesday. 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's the start of our course. We do have different languages available, so that's probably the one in a different language. And so for our English speakers, so we created the Blackscreen.ai subsidiary company. So everything is going to be under that, and the start date is May 8th. Do you have provision for someone with some level of experience but want to intern with you? We do provide internship during the course. And so just join now. Alexei, can you please return it to the QR code where they can make a payment today? And if you have, yeah, if you're ready to pay now, make it happen. And it's only 2,999, which will put you in a position of making $100,000 a year. And it would take you less than 6 months to achieve that goal. I think it's pretty incredible that we're living in the times when it is possible, and you can work from anywhere in the world, and you can be making a very good amount of money and have a lifestyle which you deserve. And I believe you would miss this opportunity and join this incredible group and enjoy this journey to your success. DevOps, you should aim for more than 100K. 100K is an entry level. If you, as we mentioned before, you can get to the level of $250,000 a year, but this is an entry as a start, and I was telling you that even doctors, they wouldn't start from that amount after they spend years of studying and hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment. So I want to encourage you, do not miss this opportunity. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. It's been our pleasure to share with you this opportunity, and I hope you will take advantage of it and become DevOps engineer, get your dream career, and live the life which you deserve. So we encourage you to join us, and I want to give thanks to Alexei. Okay, last question: do we have access to join real projects for practicing, like other Russian-speaking classes have after 4 months? That's a yes, right? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Alexei answered before asking. See, he's awesome. You're gonna enjoy your journey of learning with Alexei, and I want to say thank you to everyone who stayed with us. If you have any questions, reach out. Feel free to email me. I know a lot of them receive email from me, so email me back and let us know how we can help you. I probably will make a few phone calls and reach out to some of you tomorrow. I will be sending the curriculum to Finiski and Hamchab, I think. I had promised if any of you need more information, you have questions, we would be happy to help you and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we're looking forward to helping you to get your dream career. Thank you very much. And thank you, Alexei.
See you in the class. Thank you.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.